For extra credit this week, I thought we'd take a look at that verse 2 riff from All the People Said Amen. It's using an interval called a third. And essentially what a third is, it just takes the note that's 3 notes up in the scale. So for example, our song is in the key of G, so we just take that third note, 1, 2, 3, and that's a third. Now we hear that a lot, but this particular thing that we're doing in verse 2 is we're actually using the third as we're using the lower octave. So our main note, this would be like the main note, and then that's the third. So the third is underneath it. But there's a pattern that we do with this. So I'll show you real quick. We're going to look at that riff. I'm not going to go into detail because you've already seen it in the lesson. But essentially you have 2 forms that you use. You're always using the G and the B. In this case, we'll get into other strings eventually, but in this case we're always using the E and the G. And like I said, the root note is the higher note. So it creates kind of a cool tone to it. Now, there's 2 forms. You have where they're right across from each other, so they're both on the same fret, or as in when we drop down to that G, your root note is 1 fret behind the harmony note there. Now, the song is in the key of G, so I'm just going to show you the form here. If I wanted to go anywhere in the key of G, I just work between this pattern. Then we'd go. Now, you could try and memorize that in terms of how that works with the theory of it, but the best bet is to really just memorize that pattern. Just going the 2 apart, same fret, 2, 2, same, 2. Real simple, and like I said, I just started that on the root of that chord. If I wanted to start that in the key of F, I would just drop down to an F note and play that same pattern. So the cool thing about this is you can slide around if you're playing some lead work. Let's go back to the key of G. It's a cool way to add a little bit of a flair to your lead playing. So that's in the song All the People Said Amen. I also used that in the electric guitar solo I put with 10,000 Reasons, and I'm sure we have them elsewhere on the site as well. I'm just kind of blanking on where. We have a lot of songs. So anyway, I'll put in the blog section, I'll actually put those shapes so you can practice and get the feel of where those are at, and I'll also give you a couple lessons to work with.